Are you ready to see your lifetime income drop by 20%? Because historical data shows that's exactly what happens if you ignore the tools we're looking at today. Welcome to The Explainer. We're skipping the vague predictions and extracting the raw, hardcore data defining the next decade of human agency. Let's get into it.
So here is the real question. Will AI exponentially empower your personal agency? Or will failing to adapt actually cut your lifetime income by that staggering 20%? Look, we are facing a ruthless economic divide right now. Avoiding this stuff? It's simply not a mathematically viable option anymore.
To answer that, we're tracking the insights of two absolute titans. On one side, we've got David Rougier, the guy who built Masterclass into a $2.75 billion empire. On the other, Dr. Fei-Fei Li, the visionary architect behind modern AI's data foundation, who literally just raised $1 billion for her new lab. They are tracking the exact same massive shift, and we are going to extract the precise, unvarnished numbers they use to quantify what's coming.
Just look at how David Rougier actually operates today. His entire tech stack, completely custom built. He noted that the cost of creating an app has plummeted from months of expensive development down to just a single weekend. He even built his own tool. He calls it Dividify, and it's trained strictly on his personal emails and voice to handle communications. But here is the absolute most ruthless, brilliant part, his custom to-do app. If a task sits untouched for exactly 1.5 days, the app auto-deletes it. Boom, gone. It forces immediate agency. You either do it, delegate it, or dump it entirely.
And the penalty for refusing to build this kind of agency? It is incredibly severe. When we look at historical spreadsheet data regarding massive technological shifts, the numbers are brutal. If you didn't adapt to new tools, your lifetime income dropped by over a fifth. But far more shocking, and honestly terrifying, is that your mortality rate in the first year actually doubled. Think about that. Failing to adapt doesn't just destroy your economic survival, it literally impacts your physical health.
Because of this massive pressure, Rougier sees the workforce splitting. He calls it the barbell effect. The middle is completely eroding. On one end of the barbell, you've got the top 1%. These are the elite specialists whose absolute mastery of their craft just cannot be beaten by large language models. And on the other end, you have high-agency generalists. These are the multi-skilled operators using AI to exponentially scale their output across all sorts of domains, relying on their elite human judgment to orchestrate the tools.
Now, this shift triggers an absolute economic earthquake in education. For the last 60 years, we've known that one-on-one instruction is the absolute best way to learn, right? But it was just way too expensive. Today, you could sit in an elementary classroom for $12,000 a year or a legacy undergrad university for $80,000 a year. Or you can now get highly personalized, AI-driven, one-on-one instruction for roughly $100 a year. Let that price difference sink in. And hey, it's not even just about the money. When students use AI in a structured way, they master the exact same material in 60% less time. 60%. The institutions that try to ban these tools, they'll simply cease to exist in 10 years. Why? Because their students are going to be overwhelmingly outpaced by the ones who are actually allowed to adapt.
But as powerful as AI is right now, there's a massive bottleneck. We really need to understand this. Your AI agents, they don't talk to each other. A sales agent closes a deal, but then the support agent talks to that same customer an hour later with zero context. It's broken. Well, Cisco's Outshift division recently published a white paper outlining the fix, calling it the Internet of Cognition. To work, it requires 3 shared components across agents: shared intent, shared context, and shared reasoning. You can actually go see this in action right now with 5 live use cases over at Outshift.com.
Okay, so language models and basic software agents are really just step one. Dr. Fei-Fei Li just raised exactly $1 billion for World Labs to solve the next massive hurdle. You see, if we want AI to truly assist us in the physical world, to actually step off the screen, it absolutely has to understand space.
Dr. Li breaks this evolution down into 4 strict pillars of spatial intelligence. Step 1 is understanding. That means recognizing a 3D or moving 4D environment, like a messy living room or complex factory equipment. Step 2 is reasoning, actually calculating the space, like figuring out the exact movement path to grab a bottle of water from a fridge. Step 3 is generation, which is creating 3D or 4D visual artifacts in the mind's eye to design things. And finally, step 4 is interaction. This is the actual physical manipulation and execution. We're talking about intricate robotic arms, or even the incredibly complex physical act of just folding your laundry.
To really put this into perspective, let's look at this timeline. In biological nature, spatial intelligence took over 500 million years to evolve and mature. 500 million. It is an incredibly ancient, profound capability. Language intelligence, by comparison, developed in humans over a remarkably shorter span of recent history. AI has rapidly conquered the language phase, sure, but it's only just right now trying to cross the boundary into that 500 million-year-old 3D spatial reality. Okay, let's pause. Time for a rapid-fire core review of every hard number we just extracted. We've got Masterclass valued at $2.75 billion, a greater than 20% income drop, and a doubled first-year mortality rate for non-adapters. Legacy underground education costing $80,000 versus just $100 for AI instruction, yielding a 60% reduction in learning time. And of course, a $1 billion capital raise to conquer a spatial intelligence problem that took biology over 500 million years to figure out. Those are the quantified, hardcore stakes of the landscape we're navigating today.
And that brings us to today's core takeaway. The single underlying logic you absolutely must walk away with is this. True technological agency means actively wielding AI to exponentially scale your output. Do not sit back and wait to be automated into obsolescence. You have to grab the tool, take charge, and design the exact future you want.
Now, I want to hear from you. It's time for our hardcore debate. Based on the exact data we just covered, is this aggressive push toward 3D spatial intelligence and physical AI agents a genius design for human empowerment? Or are we stepping into a massive, irreversible pitfall? I want to know your exact reasoning.
Put your stance in the comments right now. And listen, when you leave that comment, you'll automatically unlock our complete AI tool checklist, which includes the blueprint for building your own custom CO tech stack, along with the Cisco Internet of Cognition mind map. Drop your comment below, grab those tools, and start building your agency right now. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll catch you next time.